I'm going to speak briefly about the cryptocurrency and ICO regulation in India. Now, there's been quite a blow that happened last week because the central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, prohibited banks and regulated entities from dealing with virtual currencies, as they called it. They're referring to cryptocurrencies. More importantly, they also prohibited banks and regulated entities like payment system providers from providing services to those who deal in cryptocurrencies, which means that cryptocurrency exchanges as well as individual traders would not be able to use bank accounts for carrying out these transactions. So that, as you can imagine, is a huge blow. People are considering legal challenges of it as well, based on constitutional rights like the right to carry on trade and business. But pending the result of such challenges, what is clear is that the banking system cannot be used for cryptocurrency transactions. Also, India being is a country with exchange control regulations, that is, controls on money coming in and going out of the country. There are certain issues with regard to ICOs by Indian companies but receiving crypto of foreign investors. So, for example, if there is an Indian entity that is issuing a token and a foreign investor, say in the US, is sending Bitcoin or Ether to pay for that token, there may be an issue that is not permitted under the existing exchange control regulations. There's no clear guidance on it yet, but that is a very plausible interpretation. Now, after the circular, they can do certain types of ICOs if it's restricted to Indian investors and if they are not taking fiat currency, right? So what can they do and what can't they do? There is no explicit law in India targeting ICOs, and it depends how the token is characterized. So there could be different types of tokens. There could be security tokens, utility tokens, payment tokens, or any combination of these. There's been no guidance issued, unlike in countries like Switzerland, the US, Singapore, etc., on how the regulator may look at it. So we need to look at the law and make an educated guess at how the regulator will look at it. Right, so let's look at a security token first. One of the factors is whether there is an issuer of the token. So if it's a completely decentralized token, maybe there is no issuer, like for example Bitcoin. But if there is a clear identifiable issuer, that could be one factor that makes it a security. Another is there an underlying capital asset backing the token? So, for example, a share in the share capital of a company would be the most obvious example, but maybe also an interest in land assets held by the company could be held to be a security. Now, possibly the safest token to use is a utility token. Say, for example, Amazon Prime, right? If Amazon were to issue a token that has the characteristics of Amazon Prime, that would likely be a utility token because the token could be used for benefits on the platform. Right, and in that case, Indian law would just look at it as an advance paid for services. So the investor has, instead of paying at the time of taking the services, has paid an amount in advance, and if that advance is appropriated against the services by the issuer in a certain number of days, then it's not specifically regulated, and it would just be a pure commercial arrangement. I'll just touch on another type of token called a payment token. So India regulates payment systems, that is, for example, your Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, etc. And if there is a token that has the character of a payment system, that is, a system that enables payment to be effected between a payer and a beneficiary, then that would need to be regulated and registered under Indian law. Broadly speaking, as of now, India is not the best place to do an ICO from, bluntly put, because there are a variety of regulatory requirements that have not been interpreted in this context. So the regulator may have discretion to interpret it in a way that people may not expect. And add to that the fact that the Reserve Bank of India circular has come out that makes it hard for people to cash out their crypto, would make Indian entrepreneurs look to move abroad to more favorable jurisdictions like Switzerland, Estonia, Gibraltar, Malta, etc.